Welcome to Verses and Visions Creative Conversations, where creativity and purpose meet to inspire and uplift. I'm Cassidy Beck, your host, here to explore the stories of artists, dreamers, and changemakers who are walking in faith and using their unique gifts to make a difference. Each episode is a reminder that your vision, paired with God's purpose, can transform the world around you. Let's get started and spark some inspiration together. Hey friends, before we jump into today's conversation, I've been thinking about those small, meaningful things that bring us together. For me, that's often sharing a bottle from my family's premium soda company, Soda Beers. Whether it's crisp ginger beer, smooth butterscotch beer, classic root beer, original apple beer, or apple beer 5, our low-calorie twist, each flavor is a small little reminder of home and of the simple joys. Okay, now let's dive in. It is my honor to welcome and introduce Roy Fullmer. Welcome, Roy.
Hi, how's it going?
So good. So, Roy is an award-winning pop singer, a songwriter, and a performer known for his four-octave vocal range and a heartfelt storytelling. In 2025, he placed second at Vocal Sport and became the youngest winner in the Zepstone International Film and Music Festival history. He also won the Spark Award. So for listeners, Roy, for listeners who may be discovering you for the first time, can you describe a little bit about who you are as an artist and what drives your music?
Who I am as an artist? I am an artist that loves writing my recent songs. They are all songs that reflect on my personal life and try and inspire to become more of a power anthem for others. Like, actually, a funny thing, my song that won the Zepstone. That's actually called "Who You Are." It's basically about knowing God loves you for who you are, even if we're all having our cracks and our broken hearts and stuff. He knows who we are, and He still loves us for who we are. I try my best to have my life reflect on my songs, and also make sure other people can relate to it.
That's wonderful. And I watched your music video too, and that's definitely the case for the one that you wore the Spark Award. I know it was a Christmas song. Remind me the name of the Christmas song that you won the Spark Award for?
It's called "What Christmas Means to Me."
That's right. That's right. So you have an incredible four-octave range. When did you first realize that your voice could do things that most people cannot? And what did that moment mean to you?
Oh, so that's funny. I actually did not know I had a four-octave range. It's my mom. She's been behind working on my music, and well, not behind my music, but she's one that's been helping me find these really good vocal coaches. She helped me work with this one vocal coach, Deborah Bonner, really great person, and she literally just remember expanded my vocals to three octaves. I'm like, oh wow, that is someone new. Then we went to a new vocal coach, Dean Kalen, and I remember he stretched my vocal cords, well not stretched like physically, but like he with the old norms and stuff. He helped me. Like I was able to like reach notes I thought I was ever gonna reach because I remember in high school I didn't even have a falsetto. I mean, well, junior high I didn't have a falsetto, but in now I'm like almost three octaves down from whistle note, which is crazy. I think it was I discovered it. I somehow discovered it because of my mentors and my mom, thanks to their help.
That's awesome. That's really cool that it wasn't something that you just woke up one day and that you're like, oh, I have this, but something that you've been working towards and stretching and growing. That's really cool. That's really cool, right?
Thank you.
Have you ever had a moment where you feel like God was kind of nudging you towards a song or a performance or a creative endeavor or choice that you weren't necessarily expecting?
Yes, back to my original song, "Who You Are." I remember I was in such a big doubt, and like I remember I was so stressed out because I'm trying to work on a new song for something happening last year. Because I actually just got my first gig at the Freedom Days Festival in Provo, but I was like I wanted to perform a song that is super important and well meaningful. And I remember I was just struggling, and that's when I found out my ex friends. They told me they finally exposed the truth, how they didn't want to hang out with me and stuff, and I was just more into a really more depressed doubt because you have friends you used to know since you were like 4 years old that didn't want that told you the truth why they stopped hanging out with you growing up. And next thing after that, they told me I told them thank you for getting back to me, but I don't think it's right becoming friends after what you guys did. It hurt me. And they literally just said, this is why I didn't want to hang out with you. You're toxic as heck. I'm like, wow, and that like put me down even more, and that almost walked with songwriting. But then I remember with then that's when it spark came in right there. There's only I was mad at myself, and I actually was struggling with my faith 2 years ago too after my friends left me. But then that reminded me right there. There's only one person who knows I am. He created me. He knows my weaknesses. He knows my strengths, and he knows who I am. He knows who you are. So that's actually I got my big song "Who You Are," and that's I think probably been my most breakout single I've ever written. Just because I know who you are is such a good power anthem for others, and thanks to the Lord, He helped me realize He loves me for who I am. He loves everyone else for who they are or who you are. So yeah, that's how it was.
That's a painful way to come up with a incredible song. And I like that you're calling it a power anthem, not just for yourself, because I'm sure that those feelings of loneliness are not like are pretty universal. I think a lot of us will experience those feelings. And also the idea that our experiences that no one really knows or understands us,
Mhm.
but that God does and that Christ does. And that is a power anthem and something that reaches across all ages, all everything. And that's a very powerful, I love that power anthem.
Thank you so much. Yeah, "Who You Are" has still been my favorite single because I remember when I actually got in my dance company. We actually went on tour this summer across the U.S. I remember we were like rehearsing in tours, trying to find out songs for our group to perform because we don't just dance, we also sing. And we performed at firesides across the U.S. And I remember my dance teacher's like, "Hey, Caleb, could we maybe perform Who You Are while we're on tour?" I'm like, uh, yes. Yes. It was so much fun realizing that was a huge experience. And we got to perform across the U.S. everywhere. I actually got credit. And I actually got to do my talk about how I wrote this song. And next thing it was a more crazy experience. We got to perform this in front of in Washington D.C. in front of the Lincoln Memorial Building, along with me performing the national anthem. So it was. I never knew my song would get this far in my music career. Just thinking about how the Lord helped me so much and pushed me into that kind of a song that lit something right there for me.
That's incredible. What an awesome experience to
It
be able
was.
to share that with everyone. That's really cool.
It was.
That's really cool. So I don't know if we may have touched on this, or there might be something else that you want to share with it. I think like awards are incredible. And I also think that they come after a season of struggle or growth. So
Mhm.
tell us, is there any more like unseen work that went in behind these wins?
Basically, so like when I played second place in vocal sport, funny story about that. Not funny, but like 3 years ago, I actually competed in vocal sport, but I actually did not advance to the top three. Like I won the music video category. I won best original song 2022. I won the music video category, but the thing is, sometimes how it feels like with me, I'm always used to being behind the microphone. I want to also be more recognized for me performing live. And yes, I remember walking away off that stage. It was heartbreaking because yes, I love my music videos, but I also love performing live too. But that didn't stop me at all. I remember coming back I remember just that like coming back home like okay, you know what? Vocal sport might happen again sooner or later, so I'm gonna just work my butt off. My mom helped me; she guided me in so many things, and the next you know, I did other local competitions. I worked with my vocal coach every Thursday or Friday, and more time I can get. And then I found out the Vocal Sport announced their next competition. I'm like, okay, this give me my chance. This is gonna be my big comeback. And yeah, I actually got back on it. It was intimidating, like literally felt like American Idol, even though it's like Utah, but it felt like American Idol. You're coming back in and you're realizing you didn't make it in the first time. And then the second time, I actually, and that's the thing right there too. I had to struggle what song I was going to sing. Like, maybe I should sing Never Enough from Great Showman. Maybe I should sing Defying Gravity. My mom was like, no, kid, you know what you should sing? You should sing Who You Are. I'm like, sure, why not? I was a little hesitant, but it was fine. And next thing you know, after singing it, I walked off nervous because I was actually the first person performing my category. And we were all the contestants were on this stage. Me, I was actually shaking. I was nervous. And they announced my category, who would be the winner, the top three. And I remember heard third place, like, oh, that means I didn't make it in. But next thing I heard, and second place is Roy Fullmer. I'm like, I literally dropped. I literally dropped to the floor because I was just like I was overwhelmed with so many things. And the funny story behind that, turns out they also announced another award, which was Best Original Song, and they announced my name on that, and I didn't go up. And my family were just laughing in the audience, and like wondering, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Roy, we still have a trophy." I'm like, "Oh." It was funny because they actually kept the video of my reaction to me not knowing I didn't get my name, like, and they zoomed on my face. I'm like, well, that's embarrassing. All over the internet too. Just watch me as and my parents like, Caleb, they told your name. I'm like, yes, and I'm like, Caleb, do you know your artist? I'm like, of course, I know my artist name. I just couldn't hear it because like the music, the audience, the cheering, and the microphone all was just, and my nerves, I guess, got the best of me, and that made me not hear my name. So I'm like, wow. But yeah, like I put dedication, practice, and my strength into my music to make sure I can make a really good comeback. And I know I'm also coming back in another competition next month, which I'm excited for, to make a new comeback for this one. So I always try my best to make dedication my one biggest strength in my music.
So I love that the perseverance that I hear through your story because you did it one time. It did not go how you wanted it to. And
Yeah.
instead of like burying yourself or just saying that's super sad and that you dug in and that you prepared for the next time.
Hmm.
And that how awesome as well that you performed an original song.
Yeah,
That's
it was
incredible. I
hard work.
don't know a lot about vocal wars. Can you tell me a little bit
Vocal
more about
sport.
that? Vocal
Yeah, vocal
sport, I
sport.
beg your pardon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vocal sport is actually produced by. If you ever heard a funny thing that Spark word, they're not related to anything. Like the music Spark singers. They're a Utah-based Christian pop band, and their manager is what produced is what produces that. It's like a big national singing competition. They've had singers get their big break, like Madeline Page, people from American Idol. All these people started their careers from vocal sport. It's been like a huge platform for so many singers to connect to and get really good deals and like get really good opportunities and stuff. And I actually knew the producer because I promise you, it was not rigged at all with the judges. It was fair. But like I knew the judge since she knew me since I was literally 4 years old when I started performing, and she actually encouraged me to do it the first time. And yeah, vocal sport's it's a huge singing competition, which made it more scarier for me. Why? Especially because there's video submission, which made it even more terrifying because video submissions can be tricky and stuff. And then I found out like, congratulations, you made it in. I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah, it was actually really cool because the thing about singing too and the vocal sport thing, how it can maybe launch my career is that even though I did not win first place, David Archuleta has been such a huge inspiration to me. And I remember just staying on that stage and actually got announced I was runner up. It honestly felt like I was him. I kid you not. I felt like, I don't care if I won first. It's still a good title to have becoming in the top three, which makes it more relieving for me. And that makes me realize I have a better chance the next time we ever have this competition. Like for any singers out there who want to get their really good launch in the career, I recommend vocal sport. Really good place and it's really good environment for people. And they build their confidence a lot.
So, did I hear you say that you started singing at 4?
Yes, I actually started singing at 4 years old.
That's incredible. So this has been a talent that you have been developing and honing for quite a while.
Yes, it's a really fun story how I actually discovered my actually my mom is one that discovered my singing talent. She because it was we were actually at Lagoon, the amusement park in Utah, and we heard music and stuff. And she saw a 4-year-old me dancing and singing to this, just whatever 4-year-olds do, and this whole entire crowd just come crowding around me, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna be a performer. He's gonna be a performer someday. And that's how she knew I was gonna get into it later, and she put me into this little performing arts group called Celebration, and that's where I started loving my passion for singing. I think that's actually my first time when I actually recorded in the studio. Was actually 4 years old. um, and then I did little plays and stuff, musical theater, and it's been such a huge strength in me, especially because in my years, I actually started songwriting at 13 years old. It's because growing up, I actually got bullied a lot too, like not having much friends, first of all, and then I got bullied over the years. I had a very hard time discussing on how I've been feeling, and the only way for me to actually get through that and so my mom actually do that to express my feelings is my songwriting. Um, my mom, like the one night at my dance rehearsal for this is actually not with my American Rhythm group, but my dance rehearsal in junior high, I was actually bullied backstage. Somebody actually videoed me and doing something embarrassing, and they posted it on the internet. And when the curtains came up for the bows, they saw I wasn't in bows, and my mom and dad knew instantly something was wrong. And they saw me, and then my mom saw me crying in the bathroom, and she was just letting in on the. And the next day, she stormed into the office saying like, "You should do something about this bullying, because my son was going through this." And next thing you know, I think the next day the boys actually got suspended after she threatened to sue them for how I was treated and stuff. And yeah, my music passion has never been so much stronger. It was all thanks to my mom who helped me with my music, and I really appreciate that. Even if she does somehow embarrass me in public. But yeah, like she helped me
That's
a
a
lot with
role,
music.
that's a job for a mom. So I feel like we take great pleasure in it.
She does. Yeah.
You know how much I love sharing stories that inspire faith and hope. I'm excited to tell you about my new children's book, Sheep Chronicles Baptism. It's about Joshua, a curious boy with big questions about baptism, and the parable of a lost sheep named Shannon, shared by his wise grandpa. It's been such a joy to write this story, and I can't wait for you and your family to read it together. So I am curious what your songwriting process looks like. Do you start with melody? Do you start with motion? Do you start with lyrics or something entirely different? What's your
So
process look like?
yeah, lyrics. So I start with lyrics first, and I feel like though, like songwriting doesn't just come like instantly, like boom, like you're like Taylor Swift, you could like write songs instantly. No, my songwriting purpose, the way I songwrite though, I just wait for something to come in. Like I say I personally, all my songs personally written about my life and my emotions. Like I've had something happen recently. Again, I admit my life can be really challenging sometimes still, but like I remember just getting this one thing happening. I actually got harassed online earlier this year. I'm like, okay, that sucks. Yes, he like literally called me a clown. Someone else like got on my tail next. He said, "I don't want to work with a cheat and a grifter." And I'm like, you remember? And all these online things are tearing me down so much. I'm like, okay, wait, and that's it. Like I wait for my emotions that keep becoming strong and then painful, and somehow I could transform it into that. So like, and that's when I wrote my song "Rising Star." Like go on and like the lyrics are like, "Go on and tear me down and call me a clown," like call me, and that's when I realized, oh, that's good, that's good. I could do that. And then I write my lyrics after I get that really strong emotion, and then we contact my producer actually, and she's like, okay, let me see what I could work with. She's actually part of LASPMA Awards. Her name's Becky Willard, but yeah, like I contacted her about it, and then we work on the track, and then we put all the pieces together, and it's yeah, like I admit it is hard going through a lot of challenging stuff, but that's what makes my it helps keep my passion, my music is actually being able to like transform my pain into something I can use to help relate to others and help build people up, and knowing that you can still be rising even though you got torn down so many times.
What a great way to deal with difficult things that you're going through. and to acknowledge the pain, but to use it in a way that is constructive. So I feel like creative people a lot of times wrestle with doubt or comparison. Is that something you faced?
Oh, 100%. So many times. Like, I have a really good friend. He is like literally my best friend. Actually, he's like my big brother. He's actually a professional. He's a professional model, actor, and stuff. And I remember when I had my acting career, but I sometimes feel like I'm under his shadow. And I also feel like that for other people. Like, I come from my family comes from a legacy of boxers. Like, there's Gene Fulmer, Don Fulmer. Don Fulmer's my grandpa, but I feel like I'm under their shadow because I chose a different path. Is the thing, and it's not very strong. It's not very strong in the boxing area in our family. But yeah, especially competitions. Like, competitions are my one biggest place where I get my self doubt. And that's what I said. It messed with my brain. That's how I didn't hear my name when they announced Best Original Song awards, was because my self doubt made me just clog my memory and everything. But you just gotta know I just gotta know I have good timing. Like, you see all these people that go on American Idol, The Voice, AGT. I auditioned actually through American Idol through Zoom. I think 9 times I got rejected every time. And it was definitely a comparison. That's where my self down, my comparison got worse. But then I realized I still got time. I'm still young. I still have my life ahead of me. So what am I doing? Because you get all these young people, 15, 14, 13, they get these record deals and stuff, and here I am still struggling as an independent artist. But I just gotta know I still have time in my life. I still have everything to go. And I remember just looking at my and that one thing that helps me realize about how I have my inspiration is actually I do know I have in my room I have like literally trophies all lined up of all the success I've been building over the years. And so that reminds me right there how I actually have proof how I have been progressing over the years.
That's a great visual for you to like focus on the progress. And that is really fun to see. Yeah, to see how far you've come. And especially that it's been a long journey for you starting so young. Yeah, that's a great visual. So, do you feel like you have a favorite performance moment, like one that just kind of you felt either like electric or sacred or unforgettable that you could share with us?
Yes, that one was definitely also vocal sport because I admit I had like with the self doubt. First of all, I definitely had a lot of self doubt. I was nervous actually performing the original song in a competition. That was my first time writing a song. First time performing in a competition with a song I wrote. And I remember because a lot of singers we still struggle with memorizing our own lyrics and stuff. And I was so worried I was gonna mess up my lyrics. But knowing just stepping on that, just coming back on that stage, having more confidence and everything, I remember like it was like big American Idol moment for me when they announced the top 3 people, and I just it was honestly just everything I dreamed of. Like having a song that like writing a song that's been my experiences in life, and it actually won an award for that, and also making a big comeback. And it was just overwhelming thinking about how my life has been so hard. But next still, I have made an accomplishment because my challenges. If it wasn't because I say if it wasn't for my challenges in my past growing up, I wouldn't have become an artist I am today. Because that's helped me write so many songs that's inspired others. And next, it gives you the ability to have a passion I can use to perform live, which makes it even more better for artists to sing songs they actually wrote, so they can relate to it easier. And when they announced, and second place is Roy Fullmer. I just I dropped I. It was such an amazing experience. Like, I just remember praying and thanking. They said thank you, Lord, for actually giving me this opportunity, helping me make a big comeback after 3 years. Just 3 years from not from like my plan was at least making it only to third place at least. I made it to second place, and it was just it was just a blessing for me making it that far after only 3 years. Because you look at some people that come back and it's like been 10 years or 20 years or something like that. Like the recent America's Got Talent winner, she auditioned at season one when she was only 11, but she came back and she competed when she was when she was 29, and she made it and she won. I was only 19 when I first competed in vocal sport, and went a long time ago. And I came back and I'm 22 now. It was only 3 years of that time. I remember I put that much dedication and praying in my faith in the church and my music, and I made it. And I only rose straight up to that to second place. It was definitely such a holy moment for me. Knowing my Christian pop song made it able to help with that. And I hope someday I can actually release. And I'm hoping someday I can start making more music to relate to others.
Roy, I'm going to put you on the spot. I would love to hear just a little bit of it because I know I can't remember what song, but you just kind of like sang off the cuff. Is that something you would be comfortable with?
Yeah, yeah. Like you want me to sing part of who you are?
Yes, I do.
All right. I got more new voice, just a fair warning, but like
Yes, yes.
he knows that I'm not perfect. He knows I make mistakes. He knows I'm full of weakness. He feels my heart aches. He knows that I keep trying. He'll always cheer me on. And when I feel the fire, he knows I want to run. And even though he knows all this about me, he loves me the same. And even though you're feeling unseen, he knows your name, 'cause he knows who you are. He knows where you hurt. He heals all your scars. And when you're afraid, he puts out his hand. The price has been paid. It's part of the plan. He wants you to shine and be who you are.
Wow.
Yep, that's been my favorite song
Wow.
ever since.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And that's even with morning voice. That's incredible. Like with no warm-ups, just off the
Yeah,
cuff. That was incredible. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
no problem.
So is there like a theme or a message that in your songs you find yourself kind of like repeating over and over or coming back to?
With my theme and stuff, I remember I get with my theme in my songs. It's all about my passion, and for it's also a really good way of building up, because my biggest dream one day in my performing history is to win a Grammy just for writing songs for just being me, and at learning letting people know they're not alone. Like my biggest dream, also the second thing is like if I do become a celebrity, I would love to like go to like surprising fans. I would love to go to hospitals and greeting people who are in hospital who are my fans and stuff. I would love to like just support others in any way I can. Like I'm actually thinking next year. I'm thinking about hosting an anti-bullying concert just to make people aware about bullying, how it could hurt others at the school where I got bullied, and just letting people know how like you're not alone on things. If it wasn't for my pain and my history in my past, I wouldn't have been here today, and I wouldn't have gotten my songwriting passion.
That's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. I know my son is in high school, and having like like an assembly that is like entertaining, but that also has a positive message, I think would be such a great idea. Yeah, I think that would be such a good idea. I love
Yeah,
that.
definitely would.
What projects or songs or creative goals are you most excited about right now?
Well, I'm actually releasing a new Christian pop song. I'm recording it this Friday. I'm really excited.
That is really
Um,
exciting.
yes, it's actually such a really good experience. Because I remember when I was 17. That's 17 is when I released my first ever debut song. It was really fun just walking in the studio. I remember just walking in the actual studio, and it's like in my that when I was working with Deborah by the time, her son Oba was going to help do with this. It's like, yeah, this is actually where Post Malone recorded. I'm like,
Well,
what? Like that's not intimidating at all. But just singing it and stuff, and I was only 17. I just it was ornament. Like I never felt so like, oh my gosh, I legit feel like a real pop star right now. Just like just recording it, and only being 17. And then and that's when and it's been like 5 years since and it's been wait, no, 6 years actually since I released that. Wow.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Hmm.
What an opportunity to film in that same studio.
It was definitely it was a really big opportunity, definitely.
Yeah. If you could have your music do one thing for someone listening, like a feeling or a shift or hope, what would it be?
That's actually a difficult question. It would be for someone to know like, oh, this person knows what I'm going through. This person is like literally telling me I'm not alone. Like I could relate to him in so many ways. This is something I want to also inspire to help others. So like something like that though.
So to build connection, to have
Build
people seen
connections.
like they are seen.
Yes, to make sure they're seen and they're not alone in any
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. What encouragement would you give to other artists or dreamers who feel like that desire or that call to create, but doubt whether their voice matters?
I always say to so many people, like they tell me like, oh, I should go sing like you. Like, well, everybody can sing. Everybody has a talent. You just need time to work it through. Everybody is talented in their own way, and it's best to make sure you don't let that get in your head.
So where can listeners connect with you or follow your work or hear more of your music?
So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel called Roy Fullmer, and then my Facebook, I have my personal one, which is Caleb Roy Fullmer. My artist one is Roy Fullmer, and Spotify is my full name, which is Caleb Roy Fullmer, and all sort of streaming platforms.
Thank you again for sharing your talent. It's been incredible. And I love that you gave us a little piece of your heart today and a piece of your songwriting. So thank you for sharing that with us.
No problem. All right, have a good one. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for spending time with me today. If you're looking for a family friendly, refreshing drink, check out Soda Bears, my family's premium soda company. And for a faith filled story to share with the little ones, don't miss Sheep Chronicles Baptism. Both are available on Amazon. Until next time, keep creating with purpose and faith.